Hey there everybody, I'm RVA Hiker Girl, and as you can see, I am in the state of Maryland today, and I am visiting the Assateague National Seashore. And there are 3 trails here: Life of the Marsh, Life of the Forest. Both of those are half-mile trails, and then there's a 3rd trail here called Life of the Dunes. That's 0.75, so almost a mile. So I'm going to take you to all 3 of those trails today. I'm going to show you where I'm camping, which is on the beach, on the ocean side. There's also bayside camping. And of course, if you've heard of the name Assateague, it's all about the horses here. There are feral and wild horses. There are about 70 of them that roam this side of the Maryland state line. And hopefully I'm going to see how many I see, and I'm going to show up to you. So I am hoping I'm going to see a lot because I love horses, and especially wild ones. There's also deer here. They're miniature deer. I believe they're called silva deer. So hopefully I will see some of those. But anyway, let's get going inside this park. $25 to get in, $30 a night to camp, by the way. And anyway, I'm excited to get going and see what this park is all about. And right from the start, 3 white-tailed deer crossed the road right in front of us as a greeting to the park. And then shortly after that, 2 wild ponies stopped by to say hello. So Assateague National Seashore sits on a 37-mile peninsula. The northern part is Assateague State Park, and the southern part in Maryland is Assateague National Seashore. And if you go further south, then that becomes Chincoteague. So it's a 37-mile island. 2/3 of it belongs to Maryland, and 1/3 of it belongs to the state of Virginia. And right across from the visitor center, which is that building back over there, you have this amazing boardwalk with beach access. Let me turn it around and I'll show you what that looks like here. I am out on the Life of the Marsh Trail, and it's only a half-mile long, and it is mainly boardwalk, and it takes you all around that way. And off in the distance over here, I can see 4 horses right over there in the distance. As you can see, that is snow right down here, and the current temperature is 34 degrees, and there's a huge snowstorm coming in to this coastal area tomorrow night. So I will be out of here before that hits, but it's crazy when you think of it snowing at the coastal areas at the beach. But man, is it gorgeous walking around. And what a great time of the year in the winter to come out to this national seashore, because there's no one else really around. Trail number 2, Life of the Forest Trail. Let's go check it out. The name Assateague comes from the Algonquin word that means swiftly moving water. And Chincoteague, also an Algonquin Indian word, means land, beautiful land across the water. So it's interesting that they are connected side by side and both have their Indian names. This is beautiful through here. And I just love it because we have the whole place to ourselves. It's just me and Jaybird here, and there's no one else on the boardwalk. I think I've seen maybe one or two other cars that are here, so it is just awesome. All right, last trail to check out, Life of the Dunes Trail. This trail, as the name probably implies, is sand walking. Says to look in the sand for tracks of red fox, raccoon, ghost crab, hog-nosed snake, and the doodlebug. Those are raccoon footprints right here. One thing about the sand dunes trail is there's so much pine, little mini pine trees, and they just smell so good and so fresh. Campsite on the ocean side, number 13. And we are car camping tonight, but you can put your tent right in the sand. Have your fire pit right here, and you have a picnic table right here. And if you see where Jaybird is right there, that's where you get a view of the ocean. Let me take you up there and I'll show you what the view is. Campsite's right there, and you just walk right up here. There's another campsite right there, and you are this close to the ocean. And I'd have to look, but I don't know why you couldn't put your tent like right here as well, as long as you don't go past these barriers that are right here. But yeah, the sun is going to rise in the east this direction, so it's going to be beautiful in the morning. Also, if you walk right up here, there is a viewing platform right there as well. I'm up at that platform, and our campsite is right there. And there are toilets right there. And this is the first loop. I think it's like 1 through 19. And then there's another loop over here. And then there's tenting only sites that are line the beach down here. Trying to figure out which animal with pads that these footprints belong to. They could be coyote, they could be fox. I don't know. What's cool about these picnic tables is they have a place to put your food because of the raccoons here. So you can put your food in there instead of a bear box. It's a raccoon box. There's no bear on the island, or peninsula, I should say. We are the only campers here in these temperatures tonight. I think the low is going to be like 27, 28 degrees. And as you can see, the sunset over there is just beautiful with the colors. And this is our car camping setup, which we have both of our sleeping bags. And I have found that if you put a pillow or another sleeping bag next to the wheel well, you won't feel the coldness coming through like the side of the car. And I have an extra sleeping blanket on top of our blankets. So, and of course we have our big Agnes and we're raised up a little bit. So that is what the car camp setup is looking like. And look at the colors in that beautiful sky over there. Good morning, everybody. Man, what a beautiful night sleeping here, having the whole first loop campground to ourselves, waking up to that amazing sunrise. You just can't ask for anything more. Was walking around a little bit and I noticed all of these footprints in the sand that go off right over that way. So fox or coyote, not sure which one. Anyway, going to look around for some more horses today, and then I am heading south down to Chincoteague to see even more horses down there. So the herd is 70 horses here on Assateague, and they're owned by the National Park Service. In Chincoteague, they are owned by the volunteer fire department down there. And there's 150 horses down there. So your chances of seeing horses are actually a little bit better at Chincoteague. And each year there are about 70 colts that are born and they auction off. Most of them, I think all of them except for maybe 3, I think I read. And basically that goes to support the volunteer fire department. They only have a permit for 150 horses to be in that 7-mile radius. So they have to do something to keep the population where it's supposed to be in check so the horses don't starve. So yeah, anyway, all right. Wish me luck on seeing some more horses. And it's supposed to snow later. I think it said 5 to 8 inches, blizzard-like conditions on the island. So I hit this place on the right day. All right, we are packed up from our campsite right here and we are ready to go. So here for camping, there are 2 drive-in spots for campers, cars, but there are also several loops for walk-in camping. So basically, you park your car right here and then you walk to your designated camp spot. There are also primitive camping spots that you have to backpack in to go get to. So lots of different options for camping here. Look how tiny. It's the Sika deer, S-I-K-A, and they're a barrier island type deer. And look how cute you are. Over time, they've gotten smaller because there's not as much for them to eat on the islands. But look at this guy. Didn't see any more horses over at Assateague, only 6 I saw in 2 days. So we made our way over to Chincoteague, and we're gonna go check out the visitor center and some of the trails here and look for ponies here. But we are doing a pit stop at the Lighthouse Trail. So we're gonna go check out this trail, and of course, like it sounds at the very end, is gonna be a lighthouse. It's actually called the Assateague Lighthouse, but it's in Chincoteague. So to make it here to the lighthouse, it's just a half a mile out and back, and that's it. So really close to the parking lot. That's a white egret, and those are some mallard ducks. And then there is a great blue heron right here hunting for some fish. Looking out across the salt marsh, you can see 5 ponies out grazing in the distance. Over at Swan Cove, there are so many different types of birds to see, from white and brown gulls, Canadian geese, osprey, swans, and black pelicans. It's really a birder's paradise. Here is the beach at Chincoteague Wildlife Refuge, and it's not nearly as wide as the beach is down at Assateague, but it's still beautiful out here. I have spent the morning exploring around here at the Chincoteague Wildlife Refuge, and this is what I have found. They corral the ponies here, so there are tons and tons. I can probably see, and you can't see because they're too far away, about 25 ponies just here, and there are 150 here on this side of the island. But they don't walk free like they do over at Assateague. So I definitely prefer Assateague with them running around and feral and wild and not actually penned here. Oh, and the history behind the ponies and the horses. In Assateague, they call them the Assateague horses. In Chincoteague, they call them the Chincoteague ponies. And the only difference between a horse and a pony is actually the size of how tall they are. But 2 theories of how the ponies got here. One, a Spanish galleon wrecked off the coast and the horses or ponies swam to shore. The second thought of why they're here is that farmers who were in the area let the ponies go to escape taxation back in the 17th century. So a little bit of history for you. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, beautiful area, a bird lover's paradise here. A lot more trails here to check out. The beach is nice, not quite as wide, but for sure you can do both of these in 2 days and have time to explore all of them. And why not do it in the winter time? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'm pretty hungry, and the little town of Chincoteague has some little diners and shops, so I'm gonna go have some lunch here. I've enjoyed being in the outdoors, experiencing the wildlife, all of the birds, and of course the ponies that I got to see. I'm happy that I saw 6 at the other park, and I can see a lot out here from in the distance. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me on this camping and walking, not too much hiking trip. I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, see you then.